AREAA events, Feng Shui, house buying rules that you must follow along. First of all, I just want to thank the Wisconsin Chinese Chamber of Commerce for hosting this place. Let's give them a hand for a great place. Before we start, I want to bring May up here. She's going to introduce all of the AREAA members. So I'm putting her on the spot. Sorry.
All right. I'll stand over here. So I'm May. I'm the Vice President of AREAA Greater Milwaukee. If you guys don't know about AREAA, AREAA stands for Asian Real Estate Association of America. We are a national nonprofit organization. We are the first chapter in Wisconsin to be approved. So we are 45 chapters strong, 18,000 members. So thank you, Wenbin and Ziming, for your partnership and your support of AREAA. We're so excited to work with you guys, and we look forward to seeing what the future holds. So let's start with Tone.
So before we start, I just want to introduce a couple of the Wisconsin Chinese Chamber members. Ginger Yuan, she's sitting over there. She's the financial advisor. You guys need help, need some financial advice, she's a person to go to. Little thing, they hide everything from you. They want to tell you this, but we have an interim director of the Wisconsin, executive director of Wisconsin Chinese Chamber. He's just been promoted. Zimming. Wenbin is the outgoing executive director, and we're fortunate to have him here. Before we start, Kia's going to tell you a little bit about Wenbin.
Oh, please.
Well, did you want to quickly do a board
AREAA
member?
Oh, yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, board
Okay.
member, sorry.
So Tone is the community member chair. We have Kia, who is membership and marketing. We have Marie, who is sponsorship chair. David, technology. And then we have Laura, who is the president, chapter president.
Long live the president.
And then we have Shina, who is events coordinator, events chair. That's everybody. Oh, and Liz hiding in the back. She is our.
Liz is left.
She left. Oh, okay. Liz left. She is mortgage lender chair.
And
Policy.
Yixing is our Chinese Chamber of Commerce volunteer and task order manager or whatever. It's the name
All right. So then I'll give it back to Kira, and she can talk about Wenbin and his leadership for the past 7 years. Thank you,
Wow.
Wenbin.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know.
So who is Wenbin? He is a hydrologist, and geologist. He was a registered professional with the state of Wisconsin in these fields, and he loves to present feng shui in scientific lights so that people can become self-learned and benefit from its principles. Madison 365, a journalism media outlet here in Madison, Wisconsin, shined a statewide spotlight on the dedicated leaders of Wisconsin's Asian American communities. The people they highlighted this past year were elected leaders and business leaders, community leaders doing difficult, important work, often in the face of discrimination and literally generations of oppression. Wenbin was recognized by Madison 365 as one of Wisconsin's 40 most influential Asian American leaders this past July in 2023. Wenbin Yuan is Chief Operating Officer at Brainstorm Phonics, a Wisconsin-based business whose mission is to commercialize new imaging technologies for early detection and diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease, enabling timely and cost-effective intervention. A geologist by trade, he co-founded Dakota Intertech, an environmental construction contractor, in 1994. He sold that business in 2020. He is also the executive director of the Wisconsin Chinese Chamber of Commerce and volunteers with International Rotary, Milwaukee Chinese Times, Modern Milwaukee Chinese School, National Association of Minority Contractors, and lastly, Milwaukee Chinese Community Center. So let's all give Wenbin a warm welcome.
Thank you. That's a very famous introduction. I didn't know myself. I skipped through the waters. I never really get too deep. Otherwise, I can't do that many things. This is for you guys, the young people.
Wenbin is very humble. There's a thing in the Chinese community. There's 7 degrees of Chinese business that you can somehow mention it and it connects back to him. Except for he also an author of a book called the Milwaukee Chinese. Chinese Milwaukee. You can buy that from Barnes and Noble, by the way. You can actually Google it and see it, and you have the author sitting right here. So
I'm humbled for your introduction. So hopefully, I get everybody coming out of this symposium feeling that you are your own master of feng shui, confident and knowing what's going on.
tonight we're just gonna do like a conversation. So feel free to interject and ask questions if you have any questions. So to start off, what is feng shui?
Yeah, so to start off feng shui, I'm glad you're asking the first question. Feng shui, feng, air, shui, water, right? Feng shui. And the interesting part of Chinese translating into English is that there are very few Chinese words that cannot be translated into English easily. One of them is feng shui, so it's feng shui. The other one is yin yang, yin yang. It's translating into English as yin yang. The other way around, translating English into Chinese, everything can be translated into Chinese except two or one word. You would never imagine what that word is.
What
Logic. The Chinese don't always have logic, including feng shui. If you go to YouTube, you see a lot of feng shui lectures. You get confused because they're not logical. They are a bunch of collection of statements. Why? They don't tell you why. There's no underlying Aristotle logic system. I'm trying to add logic into this because I'm a scientist. I believe in feng shui because feng shui makes you feel good. If it makes you feel good, why not believe it, right? Why not make yourself feel good, right? You spend a lot of time, a lot of things, a lot of money to make yourself feel good. And feng shui makes you feel really good because you appreciate your home so much better now. You know exactly how to arrange the home to make you feel even better. And then because there's a certain series about it, then that makes you feel even more appreciative of your own life surroundings or environment, right? So I think it's a necessary knowledge. It's a very fairly simple to understand if you come from the basic logic. Basic logic means it comes from the same universal standard first, and then on top of that you derive your own principles. That's science. That's logic, right? Otherwise, a lot of the Chinese don't go through that process, so you can get lost checking your own YouTube videos and try to learn feng shui from there. And most of them are superstitious and just blank statement that doesn't mean too much. So don't worry about learning from that part because you're going to get lost. Then the feng, and then again, feng is, what is feng?
Air.
It's energy too. Air, energy, and feeling good, positive energy, that's feng. Shui means water, right? Water or negative energy or draining part of the energy. So it's a positive, negative. So that's the answer, simply.
So along with that, with feeling good and energy, is qi involved with that, and is that important?
Yeah, qi basically means air itself in Chinese, qi. So it's written like air, but it's also energy. And people practicing Tai Chi is trying to chase the energy, to bring the natural energy to your own body. So you feel strong, you feel energetic. That's Qi, C-H-I. Actually happens to my wife's name, so Qi. Maybe that's why I married her. So Qi is a very important concept in Chinese, but basically it's how to harness the good energy. You don't want to have excess energy. You don't want to have extreme positive energy because that will burn you through. And you try to avoid negative energy to drain your positive energy. So how to find the positive, enhancing, recharging energy is a work of art.
Are there any elements or colors involving qi?
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit more through the little bit of the details, but there are 5 basic colors of Chinese principles of energies, and they are called wood, water, fire, metal, and earth. And they represent different, 5 different colors, and the 5 different colors represent different energies to some superstitions or some theoretical meanings. Because fire, of course, is positive energy, burning. Water is a negative energy, is quenching the fire. And then everything has their own logic controls of one conquering the other. You have one that's too much, and you can add the other to balance the energy that is excessive of your existing colors. So yeah, basically earth is yellow, as we understand. Metal is heavier, gray, grayish, shining color. And wood is green. And I have on my lecture here to tell you some of the details. No, this is not all printed out. This part? Oh, it's here. Oh, here. So those are the 5 colors that you're asking. Like water, it can be blue, it can be white. Wood is usually green. Fire is red. Earth is, earthy color. And metal is shining or dark. So it represents 5 different energies. And they balance each other with those drawings. That you can find out from YouTube, from many places. How they balance each other. Okay.
I printed out the colors right on the table, so if someone can take a sheet, pass it around. You can share that with everyone.
Yeah, if you have too much of one color, you should balance with other colors so that it's a harmonic in the home or in the whole house. And usually when we have water, when we have fire, we always try to get some water. Like I have a drawing here to show you that, hey, if you have some shape, like fire, famous one here is a so-called Australia's Sydney Opera House, right? Looks like a fire. Feather on the bottom and then tapering out to the center. So symbols like fire, and they are built on top of water. So it's a perfect balance. Right? And if you have home, like you have a stove, fire, and you want your sink not too far from it, so they balance each other. So always a positive, negative, always try to balance each other.
So then when people talk about feng shui, do they usually refer to the inside, or does it have external elements?
Inside, you're talking about inside the home?
Yes, inside of
Well, it's many of different things. I actually, I presented this drawing outside. Can you show up the first picture? That I think it's outside mostly. We talk about the inside later, but we can talk outside first. Yeah, the first one. No, the hand drawing thing. That doesn't look like a serious picture. I did it. So it's not easy to understand. So I need to use a stick.
You want the yardstick?
Yeah.
Right
Oh,
there.
you guys-
There's a ruler.
Oh, there's a ruler. Oh, how did you find it so quickly? Wow.
The function is very good.
Good feng shui. Yeah. This is important. This is external feng shui. Very important. This is we call it template home. The typical good home, right? It doesn't have to be precisely the same thing in your real life, but it should conform to general standard. So the most Chinese believe the back of the home should be facing to the north or to the high ground, either north or high ground. If you have both, you are sitting it very nicely. So the back of the home should not be a slope down, should be sloped up. And then we call this part, it's called a turtle. This is called turtle, this is called dragon, this is called tiger, this is called bird. Anyways, those are superstitious animals. But the concept is that your backside should be high, and it should be facing the north or generally north. It may not be perfectly north, right? And then when the accumulation of air, like the earth and air that is heating up a little bit, so it started flowing, it will flow all the way down, and the water will go down all through the slope, and you should have swales next to your home, and you have berms on both sides, so the water flows through the side of your, did I touch the wrong button?
You did.
From the side, from the side all the way to the front, and in the front you should have either road or river to drain your runoff, storm water runoff, and all the heavy air that's accumulated through the evening, through the day. Once they rise up, it will flow through the two sides of the home down, and then this side is protected from the downflow of the heavy draining energy. The positive energy will come in from the east. This is facing the east. No, this is facing the south, or this is the east. So you try to drain mostly from the west. Some to the east is okay, but mostly draining to the west. So the positive air from the sunlight in the early morning will shine right into your home, to the east. So you want to have as many open windows as you could have to the east. Open up the east side. So that's the best energy, calm, not so heating, so hot, and not so cold, right timing in the energy wise to shine to your home. And then through the day, the sun goes gradually to the south and beaming more energy into your home. But they could be too strong. So you don't want your home, most of the windows facing south. You want some of the windows facing south, and hopefully your door facing south. So you can block some of the excessive energy, but let most of the energy go through your home. And then once they go to home, you want to make it distributing evenly to your home, so that the air goes through smoothly to your home without major blockages of the passage, and the light goes through the home as much evenly as possible, so there's no dead zones for light or air. The air goes this way, light goes this way, but they evenly distributed through the home. So everywhere you go, you feel happy, you feel energetic, you feel flamboyant, because the energy is always cushioning you up, right? So this is the south, this is the east, or generally speaking, this is your direction, and then the runoff goes mostly to the west. If you have to have some energy runoff to the east, that's okay, but then that's your black dragon, so-called white tiger, and that means you should have as much as possible of a little burn on both sides, so that the energy or the runoff from your neighbor will not easily get into your yard. Right? Otherwise, your yard could be flooded by your neighbor's runoff or storm water. Sometimes you don't see it, but on a big flooding day, you see a lot of water coming from a neighbor, which is not good. So this is ideally protected home. We call it template. That's the surface. On the bottom, you want the drainage of your soil to be well drained, gravelly, sandy, draining soil. If not, you at least will build your foundation fairly deep, and around the foundation, you put about at least 2 to 3 feet of gravel around your building, so they drain well. When they drain well, number one, unlikely you'd be flooded or have a heaved foundation, and then all the bad air coming from the earth will be able to bleed out, evaporate out, not going all into your home, right? So make sure this is a very well drained surrounding the home, exposed. And then you look at down, the first layer, hopefully that's from the surface all the way down. There's a very well draining layer of a permeable layer, sandy, gravelly of a formation, or you build a own field that is kind of well drained backfill, not using clay, which is not well drained, right? And then you hope this is groundwater table. You hope your groundwater table, if you check it, you'll find it out from your geological surveys or local well conditions. You hope your water table is at least 3 feet below your basement floor. 3 feet is the minimum. If it's deeper, it's better, but 3 feet deep. If your water is close to the base, once there's rain, it's going to overflow the bottom. You have to have a constant pump going on, and your pump should have automatic switch into battery power, or into automatic switch into natural gas power, which is about $15,000. Otherwise, like the city of Brookfield, one of the richest communities, one storm over, 10% of the homes, maybe 3,000 homes are flooded, the basement. 3,000 homes, right? Because they didn't check it. The basement is too deep into the groundwater. And then you think about the other negative air. Water is negative air, energy, and then there's a lot of radon gas and many other gases. Those gases could come because the layer is not permeable. They will get the easy route, and the easy route is your basement. They will all flow into the basement and then get to your home. And that could cause you lung cancer and all sorts of other troubles. And that's from below. So those are negative energy you want to drain out, you want to vent out, you want to put a good sand pack around your home. And they're exposed, they're not covered. So all the bad air can vent out. Hey, Joy, you came only 6 hours late.
I'm from Wausau, I drove 3
Oh,
hours to get here, that's why.
Good excuse.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome home. Welcome home. So groundwater, very important. Make sure you check it. Runoff, your neighbor's runoff, your own runoff, make sure you check it. My principle is that generally speaking, the slope has to be about 3%. How do you know it's 3%? What's the best way to find out it's 3%?
Inspection.
Every 100 feet, it's 3 feet lower. If this is 200 feet, then this point should be 6 feet lower than this point, right? That's 3%. Very simple. Yeah, you can use a water to hold this ruler. You just eyeball it, or use your phone. The phone has a level itself. You can use your hold your phone. And you stand over there in the end of the lot, like here. Your eyes is about 5 feet. You look to the end of the lot, it should hit the end of the lot. Or the lot is even higher. That's better. But if the lot is lower than your eyeball, you hold it like level, that's not a good lot. Because it's too flat. It could be easily flooded. It doesn't get flooded for the first 20 years, but it's a 100-year flood. You didn't see the 100-year flood. And then we are experiencing for the past 10 years, many 300-year flooding. How can you explain that? It should be every 300 years, but we see that every 3 years. It could be wrong. Like this year's storm. We don't see that. I never saw that ever, because the snow comes down to the tree branches and becomes ice. Once you fall down, it becomes ice. And all the trees between my home and my neighbor's home, we have about 100 trees separating both homes. All separate trees, very tall, 30 to 40 feet high. Now they're all rubbles. They're tumbled into walls. And that could happen. And then you feel sorry for that. The trees is okay, but the flooding is not an easy thing to deal with. You can file insurance. You know the insurance will say what? They say they do not cover horizontal water. Your water is horizontal. They have nothing to do with it. You can't file a claim about that. So this is what a typical home is about. And China had a lot of series. They didn't tell you the principle. They didn't tell you why. They just tell you what it should be. But I'm telling you the principle, why it should be this way. Positive energy, negative energy. Positive energy comes from the east first, from the south. From the west is too strong because the sunset of the west in the summer is going to cause you a lot of troubles. It will beam down your windows or curl your windows out. And it's very unbearable in the evening because you can't sleep, it's too hot. So this is the place you build a garage.
When then said no one can take a picture of this template, If you do, it's $1,000.
It's my patent. Patent pending. Patent pending. Because see, you're using it. You did not inform me. You're in big
$1,000 donation to the Wisconsin Chinese Chamber.
Then I give you the allowance. Yeah, I will allow you to do it. Yes, this is a very important concept. Any questions about this? Because this is very important. Everybody becomes master already instantly. Love that. No questions?
Should I sell my house?
We can talk about remediations. The mitigations or remediations is my expertise. That you pay me first. Down payment is $1,000. Then I'll come out with the remediations.
Okay.
This is the temporary.
How
If you
many houses in America or Milwaukee is built with that feng shui in mind?
well, that's why you can learn from the master. Tell you how to change one. Right? This is the ideal one. You don't have a home yet. This is the ideal home to buy.
Okay.
You don't make mistakes. This is freebie.
If you have an
You
ideal
learn
home
how to
like
do
this,
it. You buy an ideal home right away up front. But if you already bought a home, then you had to ask them to give you a remediation plan, which costs money. Right? So
So you said, based on the pictures, more windows
to the east.
to the east.
Yeah, some windows to the south,
Okay.
and no windows to the west.
Oh, no windows to the west. Okay.
And you can have some windows to the north too, but not too many. So the key is to have large windows to the east and the south, and then try to get every home. If you have a chance to have a window, all three sides have windows except the west side, so that the too strong energy does not get through the home. And then you try to open up the home as much as possible. Don't cluster your home so that the energy goes unimpededly to every corner, right? You don't have dead corners that will drain your energy. The home should be all the way through positive energy loaded.
You said some windows to the north.
Some windows to the north, yeah, but more windows to the east
Okay.
and more windows to the south, and less windows to the north, no windows to the west. Everybody got it? All right.
what is, I've heard of Bagua, is it Bagua?
Bagua.
Bagua?
Yeah, Bagua came from I Ching, which was written about 3,000 years ago. And Confucius was supposed to be the smartest guy China ever had, or a lot of people believe that. And he was reading Bagua or I Ching for 2 to 3 years. And then finally, the thread of the bamboo tablets was all broken because he still did not understand what's going on. That's how complicated that book is. Nobody can understand it. It's translated into Chinese, into English, many times by different professors, and they're translated it in their own ways. So each translation is vastly different from the other translation. So don't read the translations. And to understand it well, number one, it's a non-readable book. But then the Taoism people derived a lot of principles out of the book, and that came with the Bagua, is to see how to change it. Basically, I Ching translating to official English, it should be a book of change. That is how to change it. It's like what Sean says, or not Sean. Somebody else says that I already bought a home, does not comply with the template. Now what do I do? That's where Bagua could play a role. Because Bagua is all about how to change it. There are many ways to change it. To place home differently, remodel differently, put a color differently, open up rooms, or open up the walls. There's many ways to deal with that. But as I said, that you have to pay me to get the real details. But Bagua is about that.
Does structure change or shape a home's feng shui?
Say it again?
Does the structure of a home shape or change?
Of course, yeah. Because different structures could block the flow of the air or let the air flow too quickly from one end to the other without blending, bleeding through it. You want to design a home that when the positive air or positive energy goes through your window or doors, they blend gradually through into different locations of your home. You should not have too many rooms that the air cannot penetrate anymore, or air or light cannot shine through anymore because too many blockages, too small homes or small rooms, narrow doorways, right? You try to open it up so they can see through mostly. It's like Frank Lloyd Wright designs. One level, almost all windows, right? Except the west. But I don't know how much he learned from the Chinese architect. But I think he's one of the best architects that use generally better principles of the Chinese Fengsui, which means to let the light go through the windows and let the light go through the whole structure without obstructions, or with the least obstructions possible, to make sure the home is loaded with positive energy.
I was just gonna add that, you know, in Wisconsin, the homes are shaped a certain way. So if you go to the south, like Houston, Dallas, Texas area, they have 4 types of home shape. You know that, right? Right? The octagon, the hexagon, the pentagon, and the season gone.
The season gone.
That's a joke. That was a joke.
Talking about the changes, if you already have a home that has a lot of windows to the west, it's okay, because you can plant a lot of trees to change it, you know. Or you can put a berm there to block out some of the energies coming to it. So there are many ways to change this, but that's more complicated than one lecture here.
So she talked about the structure, but surrounding your home is important too. The surrounding area outside the home.
Well, very true. One thing is what you saw is that you don't want to have a lot of runoff from your neighbors into your own lot. You want to make sure your lot is draining to others, not others are draining to your lot. So when you buy a home, you look around, you see what is the drainage, what is the storm going? If there's a big 1,000-year storm, is it going to overwhelm on a home or not? Right? You check on that surroundings. And then the height. If your neighbor's east side of neighbor has a very tall building, you don't have much light coming from the east anymore because they're blocking your light. Right? That's not good. You have to do something on that. And then if you are already moving into it, you can't change anymore. You may have to open up the windows on the west or south, or you have to remove some of the walls. So that whatever light you already have, it goes into the home without too much loss through the passage.
So can we choose a type of feng shui for certain aspirations in our life? By using feng shui for our homes?
Yeah, that's a little complicated question. That is, you want your kids to be going to Harvard. What do I do with my home?
Oh, that's $10 secret sauce.
Usually I charge $10 up front for that. So yeah, you know, it's a generally speaking energy management. If your home is loaded with positive energy, people are happier, and then your kids are happier too, and you're not always mad at your kids. You know? So they do better jobs usually, and that means good lighting conditions, good airflows, and you know, feeling spacious rather than clustered. Don't have garbages all over the places. Don't have unnecessary furnitures. Only the furnitures you really have to use, so that the home is, generally speaking, open up, so that the air and energy goes through fairly freely. You feel your mind is not loaded with a lot of junk. Junkless homes, is what I say.
Is there a certain layout or placement of objects?
Well, I'm talking about principles. Otherwise, you have the balance of the colors, as I said, the 5 different colors. They need to be balanced out. And you could have bold colors or changing the wall, not to the white, but even different colors. My daughter's home's wall is all green, which I couldn't believe. But when I saw it, it was kind of nice, all green. But then she put a glossy color on the ceiling, so I can't look at her ceiling, it's dizzy. Every position you change, the shape changes. And every day through the lighting changes, the color changes on the road. That's very, I don't know, she may have a kid going to Harvard or going to no college at all. We'll see. It'll be interesting. But my principle is that you try to put a natural, neutral energy, like this home. This is designed fairly nicely. Look at the east side. This is No, this is north side.
Yeah.
North side is large windows, a lot of light goes in, but unimpeded. It goes through all over the place. And the colors are all kind of neutral. It reflects lights back very nicely. The lighting is pretty matching with the general tone of the home. You have good energy.
But you have no windows east, windows west.
That's why this home always have hard time to be sold. It's not the best ideal design. Shoot.
Right.
What can you do if you have no windows on the east? So for the west, if you have no windows, you can plant,
Yeah.
or if you have lots of windows on the west, you can plant trees, right? But then what do you do if you have no windows on the east?
Yeah. No, there's some ways to deal with that. That is, you have large screens, and you always play outside colors in the screen. This size of the screen in Walmart is now sold for $400. So $400 to buy a window, that's a lot cheaper than installing a real window. So there are many other ways to deal with it. But you know, this is what you need. Every wall you have a large screen. You always have outside color in the screen. Like beautiful sceneries, like nice, you know, prairies. So just keep gradually changing the colors and changing the seasons. And then you have a good air conditioning that is not pulsed, but rather than it's a multiple speed. So it's always fresh, slow air. So it's not like a shh and stop, but gradually breathing the air. So you feel positive air all the time. And then the changing of the color to make it more natural color, like a natural lighting condition color. Good lighting on the designs, lighting everywhere. You know, that could compensate some of the losses. The best is the natural, but then you can do artificial ones too.
What about the direction of a door? Is there a certain direction doors should face?
Or yeah, normally we see we don't want to be door to door. You don't want a door facing door because that's supposedly an argument. But that's not a good energy we use because the one energy goes out of the door and getting into another door without bleeding into the home. So you want to offset the doors to each other. And then you don't want to, especially the front door, you don't want to be facing the back door directly. So the air is wasted. It just goes from the front door right into the back door. So there's no chance to blend into the home. That's a good question. And then you want to have a pretty large doors, especially inside the home, so the energy can go through without restrictions. So now the modern homes, you see bigger doors, wider doors, because it gives you good feeling, rather than narrow, olden days narrow doors, 3 feet doors. That's no longer popular. You feel it. You feel that this is an old home. The new home versus the old home, new home has a better energy management. You feel they're open up. Same total square footage, the new home has lesser rooms, bigger doors, or no doors at all, no walls sometimes. Totally no walls may not be the best either. The energy can just go right through. You want to have some good energy.
A lot of realtors here think about homes, but does feng shui, the neighborhood, affect everything? The surrounding area?
Say that again, what's the question?
Like, does the neighborhood affect feng shui for a
a
house?
lot, yeah. Location. You want to find out the neighbors that are, in general, their homes are complying with the general feng shui standard. You go to there, you have a look, do they have large windows or they have very tiny windows? They have all the windows to the west and no window in the east. That's not very good energy to accompany your own home. You want your neighbors to be just as happy as you are.
No shopping center shut down.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you want to check many things because I'm a environmental engineer myself, and I did a lot of environmental assessments. And then you have to find out whether there's landfills that are a total energy dump with negative energies. Is there any gas stations nearby, or too much noise, too much highway, and build big energies, or no trees, the energy beaming right through you. You have you have the right amount of energy rather than too much, and sometimes you have a high wire energy lines to your yard. which is not always considered a good thing because a lot of energy going through it. So you feel like you're overpowered.
What about house numbers?
Oh, that's a big thing. You never try to sell anything with a 514 to a Chinese. You know why? So 514 means what?
Yeah.
I want to die. 5 is I, 1 is want to, and 4 means die. And many of that. You know, I have an elderly man who was trying to get to a senior home. 3 times they gave him available homes. He had to wait to the back of the line, but the number doesn't match his desire. One of them is the 314. My son wants to die. Another time is what? But
When
many
you say
times
the number, are you talking about adding it together or?
adding together. Yeah.
Okay.
But number 4 means die. So once you have a 4 as an ending number, that's usually harder to sell to the Chinese. Yes. Are you Chinese? Oh, I'll show you the other home.
When you add the numbers, you know, even if you get to a 2-digit like a 1-1 or a 3-1, you add it together and it adds up to a 4 or a 3. It's bad, is what he's saying.
That's right.
4, when you translate the word 4 directly into Chinese, it actually is the same pronunciation for death in Chinese.
Right.
So that's why it's bad luck. So,
It's a huge superstition of the people in the South. But
it's like number 13. You don't go to a building that's the 13th floor. So same thing with Chinese, 4 is bad.
worse in China.
Yeah,
Yes.
worse than
Even me, I would not buy 514 myself. Just you don't feel comfortable. Why you want to live in a home that says I want to die? And the other thing that the Chinese are, you know, a lot of numbers in combination means a lot of things in Chinese. That's why the Chinese kids are, generally speaking, good in math. And let me tell you an example, like a 3.1415119, that's the pi, right? Most of Chinese can recycle it to 30 digits. Because in combination, it's a story. It's a Chinese story. But every word means something. And then the numbers combined makes a beautiful story about a lazy guy who goes to market all the time getting drunk. And it's beautiful stories. You know, many of my numbers are stories. Like on my older phone number, it's 5 warriors riding horses and getting drunk all the time. 五七是1500 5 warriors drinking alcohol all the time. This is my number, room number. So the Chinese, if you give them a number, they make a story out of the number. It can be dangerous sometimes.
4, it's not a good number, but what's a good number?
You may want to go to the internet to find out because there's so many combinations. I can't give you all the good
1
numbers.
is good. A 1 means a lot of people come to your house and, you know, visit you.
Yeah,
2 is good. You don't want 3 and 4, basically. This is to add to this
8
story.
is good.
Yeah.
318. That means my son will be rich. Then they like it. Oh, I want to be rich. 518.
So I'm gonna add to this story. I talked to him earlier today, one then about my house. My wife didn't like the address. So I went out of my house, and I can show you the picture after this event. I took a spray paint and paint a red circle around the address. And I filled it in, so if you look at my house now, I don't know if Nikki's ever paid attention to it, but if you come to my house, you'll see a big red circle that I painted around the address. And since I did that, my business went off. I mean, seriously. I didn't believe in it. I don't believe in it at first. But then she kept on talking to me. I'm like, fine, I'm gonna go out and I'll paint the red circle. And yeah,
You can change a lot of versions. If you really like the house, and you don't like the number,
you can do things.
ask Tone, he will just paint it red. He will kill the bad woman.
We sold something online and some lady came to our house and said, I'm so glad that you have this red circle around the address. Because I could find the house so easily. I was like, thank you for telling me that.
That's what they call bagua. Way to change things. It's not dead in the water. There's a way to change.
Yeah, there is a way to change. I mean, if you bought a house and it doesn't fit the template, $1,000.
$1,000 later.
There are things you can do to fix your house. It's very difficult.
That's why we're masters. That's why I wrote 25 pages of lecture today. So if you want to read this, ask me. I'll give that to you. I'll sell that for $10.
So going back to the front door, how important is the front door, and when we open it, what should we see?
Or you'd like to have a front door that's fairly wide, large, to welcome the air going into it. And once you open up, you want to have a feeling that this is a lot of spacious feeling into the home, right? But rather than going right through the back door, you like letting the guy go all right away. You want to give them the feeling that there's a lot of room to maneuver, and there's a lot of space. You want to see the lighting that are kind of blending into it right away. So you have good lighting condition, good space, and then you have, some changes on the pathway so that it's not straight down. You're not facing directly to the air, to the stairway. It's rather facing, hopefully, a small wall, and then you can go beyond it. You can see around, rather than seeing the whole wall. You see beyond it. So there's some enough space in between the blocking wall, we call that galbi, of the front door, and then very large door, tall door, if you can have it. Or you can have a frame on top with some lighting to bleed through it. And you want to give the people a good feeling once they open the door. It's fairly spacious, tall, spacious. You can almost see through, but then you can see nothing but the wall.
What about like beams on the ceiling?
That depends on the color of the beam. So you can have, if the home is very light, you want to have adding some balancing factors. You may have a little darker beams, like the solid wood beams. But otherwise, I had to think deeper about that because everything is about balance. You're going to balance the colors, you're going to balance the weight, you're going to balance the feeling. If a big beam is there so big, you should have furniture that's so strong too. So everything has to be consistent. Rather than big beam, everything is so flimsy, then you feel the beam is coming down to you. You feel dangerous. Someday that's falling down.
What
You
about,
have solid furniture here, solid table there, you don't worry about it because everything's so solid.
what about like, cause a lot of houses like, or those new apartments are loft style. What about like those loft styles where you come in and it's like, you got a big spacious room, but you also got like the beams up top or stuff like that? What about those functions in those houses?
Well, those are the details that I have to think deeper yet, but you rather have some kind of, it's very hard to have a studio that has a good top-notch feng shui.
Right.
Because it's just so much room there.
Right.
Right? But on this side is that you would like to have certain meandering capabilities to see some changes into the home, rather than totally nothing but four walls.
Right.
So I don't know, maybe you should put a stair bookcase to block it halfway through. You can see the front part of the bookcase, but you can't see beyond it because that's a little hiding out. So there's room to change, room to think, but they can't see through right away. If they see through everything, I don't think that's a good sign.
Right.
Blending to let it go through slowly is the principle.
Do colors in the room affect like prosperity, education, wealth, relationship with the house?
Yeah. You want to have a positive energy, balanced, rather than one energy, multiple energies in a way, but balanced. Fire balanced with water, wood balanced with earth. So, but how to do that in detail, we can go great lengths. But they're not as scientific as the other principles I said. But you want to have a good color. If you have too heavy-duty color, that makes people feel heavy. You have to balance it out. But rather, this is a good color, very natural. Wood color, very natural. Stone color is natural. You want to use as much natural color. Sky color, that's natural. Cloud color, that's natural. But unnatural colors are usually not giving you good feelings because you can't look at it for too long. Too, attention driving that that will waste a lot of your energy looking at it. This is not natural. Your eyes are getting used to 90% of the colors and structures. Because you see that, as a human being, we saw that for a million years. Those are the colors that's the best colors. Wood, stone, natural colors. If you give any other color, be careful. Because that's not what your eyes are trained for many thousand years, or many million years. Your eyes are easily looking into trees, wood, stones.
So when your kids go to Harvard, make sure you get the right color.
Sure, yeah.
What about the color in the bathrooms? Is there a difference?
Well, I think they're the same. You want to be as natural as possible. The white is cloud, blue is sky, water is whatever little shining, but white, and stone color, wood color, carpet. Natural wood floor always good. But if you have artificial synthetic materials, make it look like close to natural color as possible. Just think about human beings evolving for the past, 1 million times into generating new colors. Before we always look at just natural colors. But to try to trace back to the principles that our eyes, generally speaking, are trained to look at natural colors. You can easily ignore them or please at the colors.
All you realtors out here looking at selling homes, when you meet with a client, this is off the board.
Yeah.
When you come to a Chinese family house to meet with them, what are the things that we should do? Yeah, do you know? Like when I first walk in the house, what should I do?
Yeah, if you can use the feng shui principles to select a home, if you can, then tell them what's good about this feng shui. And that could be a selling point. They bought it because there's an added caveat onto the cake, right? They like it because this is either good number or good feng shui interpretations. So if they want something special,
Good
you
location.
make it good location. Yeah. What is good location? Right? You can't change that, but you can sell a home, tell them some additional things that they somehow kick them through. Usually they want to buy for minor things. Like I bought my home, I didn't do feng shui studies first. I just bought my home. Why? Because my daughter says, I want this little small door in my bedroom because I can get into it and get into the attic. And she can hide into it and play with it. And she said, we have to buy this home. We just said, okay, we bought this home. Then I did my feng shui study. And feng shui was generally speaking okay, so I'm very, very happy. Because on the east, most of the windows are facing the east. And then less a window, but second amount of window facing the south. And then my garage is facing the west. And then my backyard is high, my front yard is low. So generally speaking, I'm pretty happy.
So
And she ended up going to good university too. It's okay.
So as a real estate agent then, let's say I sold you your house, what is a good gift to give you?
I mean, physical gift.
Yeah, so a good feng shui gift.
If you know feng shui, you see, hey, this will match your feng shui of the home. And you can see that either using the color or using the ornament, because there's supposedly on the back there should be a turtle, on the front there should be a bird, on the left it should be a dragon, on the right it should be a tiger. You see, maybe you can give them like an earthen structure. See, hey, this should be put into the north of your home, because this will give you good fortune. And you can always figure out the story pretty
It doesn't oranges.
Yeah, because there's no, as I said, the Chinese don't know how to translate logic. They're not logical people. So it's easy to figure out your own story.
Chinese
You
people,
were
they
supposed
love
to say your
oranges.
bulk.
What is that?
You were supposed to say your bulk.
Oh,
That would be a good gift.
I'm at book, send it out. Live this book. That might work. Because it takes a little bit for people's feeling. When they're first about to buy, not to buy. When they see 10 agents, they usually say 10 different stories that are more or less the same. But you came different.
Really?
You tell them based on feng shui, this is such and such a good deal. That may be it for them to be convinced.
Would it be appropriate to give wine or a wallet, money?
Money, loaded with money.
No, that's all.
One is always good, a little bit of gift is always good. Yeah, I know, I work with a lot of real estate agents, nobody gave me anything. Not a real Chinese.
Time to switch.
Yeah. Chinese family, they love oranges. As a gift, they always give that at a restaurant. So if anything, buy some really high-end oranges, and they're a lot cheaper than cutting boards. But they appreciate that a lot.
You had to buy some specialty oranges.
Yeah, especially.
If it's not specialty, you tell them how specialty it is.
Yeah. And do not give knives, gift sets, to any Chinese family as a gift, whether it's Christmas, whatever, or home buying gift, because it represents like cutting, and you ruin a relationship.
Oh.
Or don't ever give them a clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that. They will send it back to you. They will be crying.
Oh, I
Why is
know.
that?
Because that means dying.
Yeah,
June means dying.
this, the words,
If you send that to them, you
pronunciation, similar to that.
Pair too?
There's.
yeah, pair means separating. We're separated. You give them pair. You met a girlfriend. When the girlfriend is leaving, you give girlfriend a pair. That means this is it.
Thank God I invited parents today.
See, that's a good idea. You don't know how to say goodbye, just give us.
Give them a pair. All mine. Hey, let's take a pair. The boy will get it right away. Oh, sorry. I'll miss you. I miss you too.
You know, Kyo asked like a box or a wallet. Sometimes like something that represents money collection. You know, if you know someone really well, you buy them a purse. You don't have to put a lot of money in it, but put like $5 or $10 in there. Just represent prosperity for them. So that would be a good gift.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hurt anything. You will feel probably a little bit. You know, life is such that you do 99% of the work. Everybody does 99% of the work. You did additional 1%. That makes huge difference. So sometimes that's what it takes. Just like additional 1%. Many of the clients, you chase, final moment, they want somewhere else because that's someone else knows how to tell a special story and get the deal.
Avoid plants like cactus, anything with thorns, because it just represent, you know, like you said, like almost like pears. You're in a relationship, you're poking at somebody. The other thing that I've done before in the past, that's feng shui, has gotten me a lot of referrals. There's a secret, write this down. It costs you $100 though, okay? You buy a little bonsai tree, and you put a couple of dollars hanging on there, and you give them as a gift.
They like that.
Forever. They're gonna refer you for 20 years. They'll keep referring you clients, even though you never asked for it.
Just be
No.
dollar bills.
Just $1. You don't have to be a lot. It could be like $5 worth of $1. You're just hanging on the bonsai tree. Give it to them. You know, I think a bonsai tree you can get for like $20, $30. A very simple gift, but because I've had a client that had it for 20 years and the bonsai tree's still alive. You just wish that it's still alive, okay? Because then they'll refer you business forever, for life. You know, so.
I just watched a little real story, small story from the YouTube. It says one guy went to China and another guy fellow come to him and said, Tony, let's go to send a gift to our manager so and so. Too busy. I have work to do. Okay. Next year came over and said, hey, it's New Year time. Let's send this gift to those Secretary Joe, Secretary Lee, or Secretary Wang, and we on this. Said, why don't you do it? This is for money. You do it yourself. Goodbye. I'm busy. Third year, he was there. Mr. Wang, this is a little humble gift. Take it. Don't worry about the details. Just keep it. If you have any need for me, just call me. This is my phone number. Whole person changed. Becomes very congenial. Sending gift door by door. Sending gifts, bags by bags. He becomes a real Chinese businessman. And probably A lot of the Chinese probably carry some of that here. They want a little bit additional. They want to see what that is, which is hard to guess. That you can't ask what that is. You have to guess it out. Maybe a little bit gift here and there.
Feng Shui affects everywhere in your life, whether you believe it or not. Part of me didn't, part of me do, but I do it anyway just in case. Here's a true story. My nephew probably never heard of it, but I'll tell you the story. 4 or 5 years ago, I was looking for a minivan, a Sienna, Toyota Sienna. I was looking everywhere for it, and there was nothing in this area that was for sale at a good price. And it was a used one, you know. So we went down, there was one in Chicago. So I drove all the way to Chicago to buy this minivan. And then my wife said, "But honey, tomorrow is Chinese New Year. We can't buy it today. It's bad feng shui. We gotta buy it the New Year." I said, "You gotta be kidding me." 2.5 hour drive, she made me drive all the way back. We didn't buy the car. She made me drive all the way back the next day to buy it. Just because it was good feng shui.
Wow.
And I can tell you what, today I've never had a problem with the car.
Cool.
I still have no issue.
The other thing that you remember is this, is that Chinese are 1/4 of the world population. There's no uniform superstitions. There's some kind of generally accepted practices, but everybody has their own interpretations. So it's not one shoe fits all Chinese. Chinese is not one village. Chinese is 1.4 billion people. All have different salts, different religion, different beliefs. So everybody's different. Don't assume Chinese all look like a Olympian.
Any other questions?
Should I start
I have a question.
lecturing? Go ahead.
So we talked about feng shui today in the context of managing the energy in your home and living space. Are there any aspects of your personal life that you apply the concepts of feng shui to outside of that?
Or keep positive energy, believe in yourself, believing you're in the best energy levels you could have. That makes a big difference. You always feel like I'm in the best environment, and I'm loaded with energy. The self-confidence. And then I always give people 3 principles. That is, number 1, everybody is equal, but some are more equal than others. That's one principle number 1. I always tell people. So you treat everybody equal, even if they're very hard to deal with. They don't call you back. They're very blunt to you, whatever. You treat the guy the same as the guy who was treating you very friendly. Same thing. Because the guy who was treating you very friendly may not give you business. The guy who was very bad to everybody, they may give you business because you are consistent to him. Others are fed up with him a long time ago. He has to go back to you, right? So that's principle number 1. That is, everybody's equal, except some are more equal than others. You recognize that both, you have always a good balanced approach to all your clients, to all your people surrounding you too, into yourself. And number 2, do not compare apple to orange. Principle number 2, next time I meet you guys, I'm going to test you. Remember, which is very important too, because Chinese are always saying, China's better or America's better. Which is better? Vietnam is better or US is better? Because that's how they look at things. The Americans will say, hey, don't compare apple to orange. Right? And when there's a kid coming back from school in China's home, and the kid left, and they always ask their own kid, is Tone a good kid or bad kid? They always ask this question, do good kid or bad kid? Very curious. In America, they said, hey, this kid is a bad kid. Parents were slapped and say, don't say that. He's different. Right? It was just different. You don't compare orange to apple to orange. He may be a sloppy at age 18, but age 28, he became a tycoon. You are going to good college very well, but at age 20 or age 28, you lost your job. You are homeless or you are unemployed, and he's a big tycoon already. Who knows? Right? So treat everybody the same, because everybody's a little different from the others. And the home is the same. You don't compare apple to orange to see which home is better. Right? You don't compare apple to orange. Each has their own features. own different capacity, own energy levels. And number 3, the hardest thing, is number 1, never blame yourself, never regret yourself, never pity yourself. 3 things to you. And then on top of that, don't blame others. If you have all the 3 principles, you'll be doing very well down the line in your life. It's very hard to digest the 3. Unless you're a Christian, it's easy to understand. Everybody's equal. What? Everybody's equal? No, David is taller than me. That's not equal. No. I think basically they're still equal. Because I have something you don't have. You have something I don't have. Right? In combination, mostly equal. So, what are the 3 principles?
Number 2, don't compare apples to oranges. Number 1, treat everyone equally, except some people are more equal than others.
You're gonna run faster, but taller.
Number 3, don't blame others. Hold on. It was don't blame others.
Don't pity yourself.
Don't pity yourself.
Don't regret.
Don't regret.
Don't blame yourself.
Don't blame yourself.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, you got it.
Nice.
More important than Feng Shui itself.
Nice. Thank you.
Sure, yeah. Basic principles of doing business. Once you have that, you're gonna go a long ways. Because you don't blame yourself. You say, how come I didn't do business for 3 months? I didn't make any sales at all. Doesn't matter, don't blame yourself. Just keep on going, keep on going.
Circle your address with ring. Business school.
Wow.
It's good energy all the time.
You guys, why you did that? Why did you circle your house?
Because when we add up the number, it was in like a 1. And we wanted a 1. And it was like, I forgot it was a different number, it was like a 2 or 3 or something. And there's a way, Wenbin talked about it. If you have a home that's not feng shui-ish, you can do things to it to put up, to fight and create feng shui-ness in your house. He can talk to you personally about that. But one of the things you can do is do a circle red around your address to bring in good feng shui, good positive energy into your home.
Well, use the good elements
Yeah,
to overwhelm the bad elements.
correct.
To do that.
So create good positive energy too. So that's why. And honestly, since I did that, business has been crazy. But thanks to AREAA too. Thanks to AREAA.
Much of our happiness comes from within ourselves, but believing yourself. Once you believe yourself, you're gonna do well down the road.
What one feng shui advice can you give to everyone here tonight for business? Anything?
Or as I said, if you combine the 2, the feng shui principles I told you, and then the 3 principles, you'll be doing better than average by far. That's it. But I have to test you next time I meet you. If you fail to do that, or fail to remember, I can't help you anymore. Even if you pay me $10,000 consulting fee. You're hopeless.
Do you guys have any other questions?
Let's say if you go into a block and the house is the biggest one in the block, is that a good thing or is that not
Usually
necessarily-
that's not the best thing.
not the best thing?
Yeah. You don't want to pick up the top one, you don't want to pick the bottom one. You want to conform to the people. You don't feel like everybody's equal. Right? You want to see, I'm the biggest. That's violating on my principle number 1. Everybody's equal. Some are more equal than others, but everybody's equal. If you want to be the biggest in the house, in the whole neighborhood, you have a hard time to sell down here. It's for the same price.
You
The
don't
neighbors may not like you that much. You're being that kid, that rich family's kids, come on, they're not that old type. You will not have friends.
So not the biggest house or not the most expensive house in the block.
Try not to do that. If it's your own home, if you sell the most expensive house. You get more commission. It's crazy to be the most expensive house in any neighborhood. So how can you make friends? So look at you different. Even in another region, that would be the lowest price house. But in that particular place, you're the richest guy, perceived to be. Maybe the guy next door to you have a lot more money. but you showed up to be bigger than them. It's not a comfortable feeling.
Doesn't compliment anything.
Exactly. If everybody drives Mercedes, hey, buy Mercedes. If everybody drives Chevy, drive a Chevy and don't drive Mercedes. Otherwise, people don't play with you anymore.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Is any of you realtors from around here?
Yes.
Many.
All of us. Any other questions?
My lecture will only take 2 hours. But
We haven't started yet.
that was just
We're
the
about to go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wenben, for everything tonight. Appreciate it. So let's give Wenben a hand. Before we finish, Laura, you want to come up here and talk about coming up event that we have?
Here, stand here. I'll take that seat.
Oh, sorry.
Who's got this too then?
Oh, yep, thank you. So, thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thank you to the Chinese Chamber here. Thank you, Wenben, for that lecture. Hopefully everybody learned some good things about Feng Shui. And it was a good collaboration event. Thanks to our host, Tone, and Kia up here. We do have an upcoming pretty big event. It's on February 1st. It is the AREAA Greater Milwaukee Installation Gala. So if you've not signed up, there is a QR code up front. You can
There's
scan
QR
it.
codes there too.
Oh, there too as well. And feel free to scan and join us February 1st. It's going to be at the Filament and was it National and First Street or something like that? Here in Milwaukee. And so we hope to see you there.
Before we go, I just want to say, thank you to the Wisconsin Chinese Chamber of Commerce. I personally joined as a business member. I'm gonna tell you right now, part of my growth has been partnering up with the Wisconsin Chinese Chamber. Since I've joined, again, my phone's been ringing off the hook from people I don't even know calling me, finding me on the internet because of their great promotions and all the business that they're driving to me. So if you're a small business owner, want to grow, they don't discriminate. They take everybody, including
Everybody's equal.
everybody's equal. So
Except somebody.
I highly recommend it. So, thank you to the Wisconsin Chamber of Chinese Chamber of Commerce for hosting tonight.
Thank you. And to me, you want to say a little bit about
No, I'm good.
our chamber's digital marketing program?
Yeah, I'll say something then. So yeah, welcome everyone. So as we are promoting our chamber businesses, we do have digital marketing program that come along with the government grant. So join us. We can start to promote your business. What we do is first we're going to create a blog article to introduce yourself and your business. And we'll post that into our website. And after that, we also list your business under our official website. And we start to make a video and make some content and start to promote. Like Tom's case, we promote him from Facebook ads, and he's going to be promoted through Facebook and Instagram. Those
LinkedIn.
things. Yeah, LinkedIn, LinkedIn as well, and YouTube will have the video there. And in his case, we just checked within a month. I think it's over 20,000, close to 30,000 reaches. That's a lot locally. We reach that many people. It's continuing, growing over time. So if you feel comfortable, then you can further subscribe our service going forward. So then the ads and everything will continue going. So there's a lot of reaches and views, clicks, right, to increase the transparency and the business presence moving forward. And plus, as we're approaching 2024, we're here already, and we're doing like strategic planning as well. So for the members who already joined us, you can participate in our strategic planning for 2024, and we can make better plan and to move forward together. Right. So two things. One, you join us, we promote you, and you have access to our resource, and enjoy our benefits. At the same time, you also support Chamber, and we grow together at the same time. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Tom, you are eligible to be the president of Chinese Chamber of Commerce. You nominate yourself, you'll be elected. You'll be one of the best presidents there.
Thank you, everyone.